bringing you the latest from Utah State University's Uinta Basin Regional Campus. This is Aggie Update. Now, here's your host, Bob Peterson.
Joining us today on Aggie Update, this week's show, I'm joined with Uinta High School student Darian Price. So nice to have you here.
It's nice to be here.
Darian and I, that's hard to say. Darian and I know each other. I knew your older sister, Derek. And now you're taking classes at Uinta and also USU and UBATC. You're a pretty busy girl right now in your life.
Yeah, I've got a lot going on. I'm taking a CNA class, actually with your wife, Mrs. Peterson, and anatomy and physiology, and I love them both so much. They are great classes.
Let's talk about Darian Price for a moment. Tell us a little bit about you. I know you grew up here at Uinta High in Vernal.
Yeah, I'm a lifelong.
Talk about your family and.
My mom grew up in Illinois, and then she moved to Utah and met my dad, who actually grew up in Vernal and has lived here his entire life. And they just met, got married a year later, and then had me.
So you spent your life here at in Vernal. And you and your sister are pretty close? Yeah,
my sister's 4 years older than me, but we've always been really close. We do almost everything together.
Uinta High School student?
Yeah, go Utes!
There, go Utes. I knew you were going to throw that in, so that's great. What's life like as a high school student these days?
It's crazy. My sophomore and junior year, I actually did cheerleading. So it was really crazy back then, and this year I decided just to focus on my academics. And I've been taking concurrent classes and regular high school classes.
Well, life's busy as a cheerleader or being involved in the band or being in soccer or football. I mean, that takes a lot of priority in your school year. So you cheered for 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
And decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna do academics. So you kind of focus your attention to the books, huh? What did you learn? What did you learn by being a cheerleader for a couple of years?
I've always been really shy, and it was able to bring me out of that, you know. And I'm able to get out in front of people now, and it's a lot easier for me.
And you gained, I'm sure,
spirit.
Gained some spirit, right?
As
You want
a
to use
cheerleader.
spirit. So if we call on you to say a little spirit song here, or what do they call it, cheer, you could do that for us?
I could, but I
you
wouldn't
probably
want
won't.
to.
So you learned a lot about teamwork, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you're not all working together, you're not getting anywhere.
Gained a lot of friendships.
Definitely. Lifelong friends for sure.
Well, Uinta High School's a great place. We have some wonderful area high schools. Union, that's where I went to school. Yes. Do you have anything to say about that?
No.
Good. I'm glad you don't. Let's just stop right
there.
Duchesne, Tabiona, Haldimont, Manila. We've got a lot of great high schools around. The Valley's very fortunate to have the high schools we do, and the instructors, the faculty, our administration. Connie Shumway was on an earlier show program, and just couldn't say enough about the counselors.
Yeah, I love Connie. She's my personal counselor, and she has helped me so much.
What advice, real quick, would you give to students getting ready to come into high school? How would they prepare themselves, and what would you suggest they do while they're in those 3 years of high school?
I don't know. I would get advice from a counselor for sure. If you're falling behind, talk to the teachers, but most importantly, try your best. Get involved, Get involved with all the activities. And
there's a lot to do. It's a busy time. Probably what I'd probably do is spend time telling my children or my brother or sister how to navigate into the parking lot at Uinta High School.
No kidding.
It's kind of a busy time about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Especially in the winter, there's a few wrecks.
Yeah. So your senior year, it's a big year. There's a lot to remember this time of your life and to try to remember those memories you make in high school.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more with you about aspirations for the future, and obviously making that switch into some of the college classes you're taking now. It's going to be fun to talk to the audience about making that transition and thinking about what you're going to do for a career. You know, I find it interesting, Darian. A lot of people, younger people, are thinking more about that probably sooner than maybe past generations. I wonder why, if there's pressure to get out there and get going competitively wise.
I couldn't tell you why that is. I think that most of our parents just want a better life for us, and so most of the parents are saying, you know, go to college.
Get it going.
Yeah.
Well, when we come back, we're going to visit more with Darian Price, Uinta High School senior.
Go Utes!
Go Utes! And we'll be back in just a few moments.
At Utah State University, we understand your priorities. because we live in the same communities. We realize you don't want to give up what you love to get what you need. That's why we offer over 40 quality degree programs in communities throughout Utah.
Welcome back to Aggie Update. We're joined with Darian Price, a student at UNA High School.
Go Utes!
You got to throw that in. And we're just happy to visit with her today about her high school experience that she's had. Senior now at UNA High School. And let's talk about your aspirations for the future. You mentioned pretty involved sophomore, junior year, and senior year with activities in high school. You're kind of looking more towards the academics and taking some classes at some schools next door.
Yeah. I'm actually taking a couple concurrent classes. I've taken several through the laws, and I've really enjoyed those.
She's talking about some of our faculty members at USU, David and Shirlene Law.
Yeah, they're awesome.
You're also taking some classes at the technology college. You mentioned through my wife's classes, CNA.
And anatomy and physiology. And I'm mainly taking those to prepare me for college. I know that once I go into college, I'll have to take anatomy and physiology separately. And her class just covers it, and I think will prepare me more for it, so I'm not stepping into something that I don't know what I'm doing.
So your first university classes have been with Dr. Law and his wife Shirlene, FCHD courses.
Yeah.
And that's a class that's required for a nursing major. So you're interested in becoming a nurse.
Yeah, I'm interested. For some reason, my entire life I've been interested in becoming a nurse. I like to help people, and I like that environment.
My wife, like you said, mentions teaching the CNA program over there, and she brings in eyeballs from cows, and she brings in cows' hearts. And
yeah.
It would just take me about 5 seconds to look at that, kind of squirm, and probably pass out.
Recently,
do you handle that pretty well?
Yeah, I handle it really well. Recently, we dissected a cow's eyeball, and it was probably the coolest thing I've ever done. We cut all the fat off of it and pulled the lens out. Coolest thing, it's like a marble, and you hold it up, and whatever you look through is upside down, and I guess our minds turn it right side up. It was way interesting.
I need to have her talk to me about that.
Yeah, definitely. You'll have to see one.
So the switch from the high school to a college environment, it's right next door. You're crossing over the threshold in both the technology college and USU. Little difference in learning? Do you find it much the same, or what kind of differences do you
I think
encounter?
there is a big difference. When going into college, you have to be a lot more responsible and dependent. You don't have your teacher sitting there telling you, you know, turn this in, or come to class, come to class. They don't really care if you're there, and they don't care if you don't turn it in. You're kind of on your own there. They say something's due, it's due, and you have to get it turned in.
I think my experience shows, is especially our local faculty here, where they're knowing they're working with high school students making that transition. They do care where you're at, that you're there in school. But you're right, the university professors, that's not their jobs to worry about that. But I think they help make that transition. To where your future is. You're going to stay with us at USU?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was going to say the right answer is yes.
Yes, go Aggies.
Okay. So hopefully receive the prerequisites from USU, go on and get your RN through USU Eastern right now.
Yeah.
It's coming down through Price, but be an Aggie.
Be an Aggie.
So you want to work in what area of nursing, do you know?
I want to work in the OB department for sure. I want to work with babies.
Okay. I find that's a very popular choice amongst people
yeah,
going into the nursing
especially
field.
girls, definitely.
Let's go back. Other suggestions for students in your situation, maybe juniors, sophomores, juniors, seniors too, that are making that transition. What should you look forward to in making that transition? Besides being responsible, I guess a maturity factor is there.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I would just go into it with the best attitude possible and just try your best. You know, it's definitely going to be different, but you can do it.
Probably you're working on your study techniques, habits that you develop in high school is going to be a very strong help for you as well.
Definitely.
Faculty at USU, they've been good to work with and help
they
you.
have been so awesome. All of the staff at USU is so friendly and helpful.
I didn't tell her to say that. She's just coming up with that on her own.
You told me to
Oh,
say
no,
it.
I didn't. So, graduate, probably be here another year or so to get your nursing program and be out working.
Definitely. I still have a few years left to go.
Well, so nice to have you on the set.
It's nice to be here.
Wish you well as you continue your senior year at UNA High School.
Go Utes!
That's it for today's show on Aggie Update. Thank you for Darian for joining with me. For more information about USU, visit us at our website at uintabasin.usu.edu. And Darian?
I'm Darian Price, and I'm an Aggie.